how I healed a lot of anxiety I had in my small business early on, and how I think you can take something away from that journey to heal some of the anxiety that you have in your own business too. Hey, my name is Chris Schwab, and I'm a local business owner and a coach specializing in helping small business owners build a balanced and efficient business. So just a real quick note before we jump into the video today, I want to ask that you subscribe to this channel. And if you do that, what I'll give you in return is access to real life case studies that me, students, and fellow business owners that I know are doing to grow their businesses in real time, battle-tested growth strategies that I'm using in my business right now to grow it. I'll share those free of charge with you, and expert interviews from leading industry experts in the small business space that you're not going to find on any other YouTube channel or Facebook page or Instagram page. I built a powerful network of genuine experts who have 6, 7, and 8-figure businesses that I'm going to share with you for the first time on this channel. So today's video is all about how I healed a lot of anxiety I had in my small business early on, and how I think you can take something away from that journey to heal some of the anxiety that you have in your own business too. I think this is a really important topic that a lot of business owners maybe touch on. They might say, oh, it's so important to get a therapist, or it's so important to do this or that, but they just kind of mention it and say, oh yeah, I had some anxiety, but it's gone now. They don't really go in depth on it. And I want to go a little bit more in depth for you that you can take something genuinely actionable away from that. For me, early on, when I was building my cleaning business, Think Maids, I was doing everything myself. At the time, I was a college student, so I was doing everything with a heavy college course load. I was managing an overseas relationship, and I was also building this business and wearing all the different hats. I was the bookkeeper, I was the marketer, I was the manager. I was just doing a million things every day. And I started to get a lot of anxiety every day around what I had to do when I woke up. I would take a call at 6 a.m. if someone needed a cleaning, but I'd also take a call at 11 p.m. if someone needed to clean the next day. So I wasn't that good at setting boundaries so early on. And because of that, I lost the separation between work and life. Work had become life. And because of that, I was just overwhelmed. I was getting burnt out, and my body was responding with anxiety, this just ambient anxiety that I didn't know what to do with. I did 3 different things in hindsight. I didn't know what I was doing at the time until I'd done it, but I did 3 different things in hindsight, which I really think made the difference and allowed that anxiety to dissipate and go away on its own. And for me, I think one of the biggest things early on was deciding the type of business I wanted to build and the principles of success that I considered to be important in the way that I made decisions and the way that I ran my business. There's an important investor in the investing world called Ray Dalio, who's a very famous man. He's written several books on principles that he's used to build the biggest hedge fund in the world. Now, this is a book that I read a couple years ago now, and it really resonated with me because I shared a lot of those same principles with him, even though we were at totally opposite end of the spectrum. I was a college student with a cleaning business, and he was a billionaire hedge fund manager. But he laid out his principles for success in work and life and relationships. And I took those principles of success and I really thought about what my principles of success would be. And for me, what I found was important was a focus on my personal health. That meant not taking business calls at 11 p.m. when I had to get up early the next day to work out. It was on balance. I wanted to have a balance between my life and my relationships and my business. I didn't want to be 90% business and 10% everything else, but I wanted everything to go together seamlessly. Authenticity was important to me. That meant integrity in my interactions, honesty with my customers and my students, and making moral decisions whenever a difficult decision came, and efficiency. I wanted my businesses to run efficiently so that I wasn't having to spend my whole life running them. Those were the 4 core principles that really helped me build my business early on. So the first thing that really helped resolve this anxiety was getting clear on what my principles of success are and what the boundaries I'd have to enforce to keep those principles of success honest were. And the second thing I think that really helped was developing a system for each area of the business that I could follow, or someone else could follow. For me, getting the chaos under control involved a long progression of developing a marketing system, a sales system, a hiring system, a system for managing my teams and my projects and my books. I had to develop a different comprehensive system for each area of the business that was repeatable and could reliably do the thing again and again with similar results. When I was juggling everything myself and we were growing really quickly, I was dropping the ball all the time and screwing up customers' bookings or messing up team schedules because I didn't have a system to follow, and everyone else around me was suffering because of that too. And I started to feel that negativity from everyone because of the poor job that I was doing. But when I started to systemize each of those areas, I found that I got better at doing each of those things because I had a reliable step-by-step process that I could go through each time. So that's the key, is knowing what to do and knowing how to do each thing well. And I'm doing separate videos for all of the different systems that I use in my business, which I'll share with you shortly in the comments. And the third thing is having people besides myself come on to help me every day in the business. So for me early on, I reached a breaking point in Halloween in 2016 where I just dropped all the balls and I had to cancel a bunch of bookings and had a lot of angry customers and a lot of angry teams. And I realized that I just couldn't do everything else anymore. The business was profitable, but it was stuck for months because I was just maintaining while I was burning out, just maintaining where we were. I couldn't grow anymore. I got to that point where it was just not possible for one human to do any more by themselves. I figured early on that I had to hire help, otherwise I was going to stay stuck for years rather than months. What I did was I found 2 virtual assistants who were in a neighboring state to me, who had run cleaning businesses before, and they were familiar with a lot of the work and tasks that I was already doing. And I brought them on to help part-time so they could help with managing the teams, they could help with managing the calls and the customers, and take a lot of that daily operational chaos off of me so that I could focus on the marketing and the sales aspects of the business, which I really excelled at. By bringing them on early, it allowed me to continue flourishing, to get unstuck, and to ensure that we had a team in place rather than just me in place to do everything else. This final step is what really transformed me from being a manager in my own company to truly being a CEO in my company, where I owned the business instead of the business owning me. And I now share those same virtual assistants with others at inovalocal.com. That's INOVA local.com, which is my virtual assistant agency for local business owners. We actually offer that same office support now for others because I think it's so important. So these are the 3 things that in combination, I felt have really given me a structure in my life, healthy boundaries in my life and business, and a way for me to actually progress and know that there's fail-safes in place if I can't do something or if I have to take a day off. Having those in place has taken virtually all of my anxiety away. I may still have a bad day here or there in my business now, but I rarely have a bad week or a bad month in my business because there are systems in place and there are people in place for me to share those difficulties with now. And I think that's the really important part that a lot of other videos around anxiety are missing, is how do you get that support network in your business in place, not just in your personal. The last thing before I wrap up this video is I want to ask you, what is the biggest anxiety that you have in your business? Is there a particular area of business or tasks that you hate doing that you wake up just dreading to do? Because if that's the case, I really want to know what it is so I can help you work through that together. So please let me know in the comments. I'm sure others are facing the same fear as you are and the same anxiety that you are in your business. So comment through and we'll help get through it together. All right, I'll see you later.